Listen, man, welcome to Podcast Explain. I'm about to call Tyshawn and Ryan of Harley Initiated because I need to know how they're getting to this bag and how their brand is growing so fast. So let me see if Ty's available.
Yo,
Ty, what's up, boss?
what's good, Dave?
Man, everything's good, man. Are you at the studio?
We here right now, man.
Yo, I'm doing a show called Podcast Explain where I'm really trying to understand how these podcasters are growing so fast. Can I come through for a minute?
Pull up.
All
We're
right,
in the studio right now. Me and Ryan, we all in here.
all right, bet I'll be there in 10 minutes. What up? Yo, I'm gonna be there in like 10 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
All right, that's gonna be a good one. You watch Harley Initiated? Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Dave, Kay, what's up with
brother?
you?
How you? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Right this way, y'all.
All right. So, what is this place? This is
So-
residents live here?
Yes, so this is an old cotton loft that was now turned into a loft where people can live, studios, and all that.
Do y'all ever run into noise issues like if you have a noisy neighbor or something?
Definitely.
Really?
Noise issues, smell issues, a lot of smell issues, because you got a lot of people smoking gas, and because the vents are like all connected, so you can smell them smoking gas, you can hear music, you can hear guitars, you can hear all that.
Wow, this is crazy.
We got Shans in the building.
Ooh, okay.
Welcome to the studio.
Yeah, man. What's up, brother?
Welcome to the studio.
I'm not gonna lie,
In a minute, man.
bruh.
What's up?
I thought the studio was much bigger.
Oh yeah, everybody thinks that.
Yo, y'all have it looking so like larger than life, real production studio, and essentially, it's a kitchen. But y'all put some money into it.
Yeah. No, we listen. We
It's a
hustling.
living room.
Yeah, we trapped out the 1-bedroom studio.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So why'd y'all pick this place?
So actually,
Well,
so
price
here's the thing.
motivation was a big part of it.
Price motivation, and the crazy thing is, we actually were looking for lofts because we wanted a brick background. So this is one of the few lofts located in Atlanta where it comes with authentic brick all around it. But the crazy thing is, we actually worked with the team that built the Trap Museum, the sets. They got a great team over there. Ryan had a friend.
Yeah.
He called in a favor. And the crazy thing is, we actually built a set in front of the brick, so we don't even use the damn brick no more in the first place. But that was the intention behind it.
But all this is different. Like the whole studio was white walls. The like you see over here, we painted like this kind of charcoal gray. All this was white. Yeah. The entire studio was white.
I'm sorry. So it was brick. Then you built walls on top of the brick, and
Yeah.
the walls were white.
Well, we got 4 walls here, but I'm saying like this green screen right here, this green wall, all the entire wall, all this was white.
Yeah, this like
White with silver.
the
So we-
appliances.
So you even made it like you kind of toned down the fact that it's actually a kitchen, a living room and a kitchen by painting it that dark charcoal color. So the whole vibe is completely different even from when you walk in. It's all of this has been freshly painted.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long y'all been here?
Here, probably about a year and a half.
In this unit,
Yeah.
we've been in here a year, but this building, we've been in here 2 years. We moved from one to another, and it's a blessing because these ceilings are literally about 10 feet lower than the previous unit. So it's a little bit better for sound. We didn't insulate it, but we got the Shure mic, so we still get some quality
So the
sound.
lower ceilings are better for sound than the higher ceilings.
Oh, most definitely.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Is that why? So what was the issues in other place?
Nothing. We just didn't re-sign the lease in another place. Waited too late to re-sign the lease. So they had to move us to a different unit, but this actually ended up being a better unit anyway.
So
Yeah.
get your admin together, people, so you don't.
Right. Right. I mean, but being able to turn an apartment, because we even looked at like purchasing a place, and at that time it just didn't make financial sense. So you're talking about finding a $1,500 apartment in Atlanta that's fairly secure. I mean, and private. That's in like the basement where you can be as loud as you want to. It's ideal for us. The next logical step is to buy a space, but 9 out of 10 people, probably 9.9 out of 10 people starting a show can't even do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what is the rent here?
I think it's like 1,500.
Yeah.
1,500 plus utilities.
1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the deal.
Bro, we in the city. I thought I thought it would be a lot more expensive.
Most people did,
Yep.
but now keep in mind, this unit, old appliances, it's not updated, right? You look in the bathroom, nothing about it is modern at all.
Right.
That contributes to the fact that it's we get the rate we get, but that's beautiful for us because we don't need none of that anyway.
Yeah.
In fact, there was an island right here that we ripped up. We probably gonna have to really have some hard conversations to them because we've been kind of trapping this thing out ourselves, but. The island was just so rinky-dink because again, this building is over 100 years old. This is an old cotton mill here in Atlanta. So they probably gonna rip all this stuff out and completely change it when we leave anyway. So you just gotta really understand what you need to use the space for.
Exactly.
And all we needed was literally a space with heat and AC.
Y'all ripped up the island. Did you ask them?
No.
No, we didn't ask them.
No. But
they gonna keep our security deposit. That's
yeah. But even
They might charge us something. Bro, you took the whole island off the floor.
it was a trash island, bro.
But when you think about it, even if we only stay here for a year and we had to pay a fee for ripping out the island, the price is worth it. That's nothing. And we knew that we was gonna. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Taco does have the island.
So I mean, and you talking about being here for a couple of years, let's say a few years.
There was a
minimum.
refrigerator here as well, by the way.
We moved the refrigerator too.
Moved the
Took everything
refrigerator.
Wow, y'all really trapped out
Yeah.
Yeah.
a 1-bedroom loft.
Yeah, we did.
And these 4 walls, they're not gonna cause any destruction. It's on brick. So all we got to do is deconstruct it. Maybe it costs us $600 to deconstruct it and take it to the dump, and it's back like a regular apartment.
All right, so like walk me through the equipment that you guys are using. I'm seeing, I see 2 Stream Decks, and I know what the Stream Decks are. But before we go there, let's walk over to the computer.
Originally, this setup was trash at first. We had a Rode, we had a Mac Mini, but we upgraded because we realized that if we want to upgrade production, we're gonna have to upgrade background. So this is our Zoom mixer.
Zoom mixer.
Yes.
And what does the mixer do?
This makes sure we have some of the best headphone and audio quality so all of our guests can hear us.
Got it. Y'all ever use the Rodecaster? Because that's what most podcasts
Yeah, we
use.
started off with the Rodecaster.
Yeah, so the Rodecaster is gonna be good for beginning the show, but once you start adding in the amount of guests we were adding, I mean, some episodes we had 6 people on. Then you adding in the fact that you want to bring virtual guests.
All right, so the microphones go into the Zoom.
Yes.
Yep.
What type of microphones are we using?
We are using Shure M7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
SM7B, yes.
The SM7V is going to be one of the most quality mics you can use, and it's going to be reliable because you don't want people to be distracted by that echo and sound. You want them to be able to focus, especially if you're trying to make the content, both audio and visually, appealing. So some people gonna listen in the car, some people gonna listen on the phone. So the Shure might just make sure the sound is good for all purposes.
All right, and I see that y'all got the cool. I don't have this. What is this?
Yeah.
Early initiated logo. How y'all do that?
Absolutely, man. Big shout out to Tabo, man. He actually, all you really got to do is credit custom screwing in the back. Because, Sure, they put their own branding on the back of the mics.
And at the end of the day, you can't really hold everybody responsible for making sure you're credited on the content. I mean, people clip up the content how they want. So you want to try to make it almost impossible for your branding not to be in the shot. So they could zoom all the way in on the person speaking, and that branding on the mic is still going to show. So at any point in time, how they cut up the content, we want to be, want to confirm our branding is going to be present.
Yo, Tabo, where my joint at, bro? Can I get right?
I literally made you one.
You never gave it to me.
We talking about it.
Yeah. How you making it didn't give it to me? Like, let me just I need this. Is there outside of Tabo making it? Is there another place that we can get this? Are there companies that do this at all?
Oh yeah, I mean you can order those on Amazon. Yeah, you can order.
Custom?
Yeah, you can get them customized from companies on Amazon. You can use Etsy. It's a bunch of other smaller companies that you could literally send them your logo, and they'll either make those for pinning in the back, or they'll give you what's those square boxes, like the newscasters have.
Mhm. Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they can make those too.
Got it. Okay. All right. So the mics go into the Zoom device. You're using a Mac Mini.
Mac Studio.
Mac Studio. So the Mac Mini is going to suffice for most shows, but when you're doing 3-hour, 4-hour streams, you're gonna need a Mac Studio.
You definitely gonna need a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much is that? How much is Mac Studio?
That one costs $5,000.
About 5K.
Yeah. First off, let me tell you something, Dave. I didn't even know computers cost. I didn't know that was like a thing. I did not know that was a thing. So, you know, I thought the typical computer no more than like $2,000.
Yeah.
Once they told me it was a $5,000 joint, I was like, wow, this is
And
crazy.
this don't even come with nothing. Ain't no screen or nothing. You
Nah,
still gotta
this
get
that,
another
just a
screen.
box.
But see, it turns your PC monitor into an Apple. So it powers it. It gives it that Apple software and Apple power behind it. So it's an engine.
Yeah, but you don't need this. A $1,200 or so used Mac Mini for most shows is gonna be fine.
Most.
Okay. What about this screen? What is the benefit of this? Is it two screens on there? Or?
It's 2 screens. Now I need that because we got our live popping right here, and then we got, you know, our background going right here. So I need to make sure I'm managing.
So on the left side of the screen, he'll be running the live, like actually controlling what's happening on the live. The right side, he's gonna be, you know, using it to search up different things during the show, using it to manage the Zoom, which appeared the Zoom room. We might have, you know, 50 people in the back of the Zoom waiting to get on the live show. So he's managing both at the same time.
Okay, y'all gotta walk me through that. You
Okay.
said 50 people waiting to get on. What do you mean?
Yeah, so we do live call-ins. So literally you click the link, you're able to get into the back of the Zoom room and join live. So he's gonna show you how the Zoom room looks, because what happens is he'll have to take people from the Zoom and add them to the stage for the live show.
Oh.
So if you got, you know, 50 people back there, he's gotta be able to navigate to see who he's gonna bring up for the live Q&A or the live debate.
Because it can get messy quick. You talking about people turning their mics on, jumping in and giving their opinion. They're not even on stage. So you really got to manage that well.
Okay, so try to walk me through the workflow of this. So we have a Zoom room, like a Zoom conference room.
Right.
And what are we streaming on?
We're streaming on Ecamm Live.
So you're streaming on Ecamm, but you're actually streaming the Zoom room in Ecamm?
So Zoom is integrated
Yes.
into Ecamm.
They got a
So
native
they
integration.
have a native integration. So Ecamm is how we switch our cameras, how we switch our scenes, and it controls what you see on the other end of the spectrum from a camera to camera perspective. But Zoom is how we bring other people virtually onto the show. So if we're doing a live call-in section, I want you to call in, give us your dating problems, or do a Q&A for the expert we have. 50 people come backstage, they join a Zoom link, come backstage, and Delano's gonna be selecting who comes on one at a time and moving people on and off the platform using Zoom. So Zoom is how they enter the platform.
Got it. Okay. So I see 3 stream decks. You have a stream deck here. You got 2 on the table.
Yeah.
What does this stream deck
So
do?
this one manages the show. So if I have lower thirds I need to pull up with Ryan and Ty's name, I'll pull those up. And we have animations that may pop off that I need to pull up on the screen. This manages the whole show. Now those 2 right there, those are the sound effects. Now if you want to play some crazy sound effects, these 2 do that based off of the moment that's popping off.
Okay, walk me over to the stream deck. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and where y'all sit?
I sit right here.
Yeah, this is my seat, that's Ryan's.
All right, cool.
So you got urgent situations that might pop off to where we'll need all of us need access to the stream deck. So let's say we're running a 3-hour live show. Let's say Delano needs to run to the restroom. I need to be able to, you know, shift to the cameras where I can control the camera. So he more around to the restroom. While he's in the restroom, the live show is still going. We still engage in the conversation, but I may take control of actually switching the cameras.
Got it.
Now you have some other aspects of it as well to give us more flexibility. So if I want to run an ad or something like that, I can use to pop up, you know, we asking for donations or I'm telling people to subscribe.
Can we pull it up?
Yeah,
Can we
pull that
up?
screen.
Yeah, Tybo, let's look at this stream deck real quick because I think this is really cool. So
These are sounds.
These are sound effects.
Yeah, these are sound effects.
And if I press one right now, can we hear it?
So we're running a 60-second ad where I want to talk about the dating cards. I might pull that up, right? If I'm telling people they need to subscribe to the channel, I'm going to pull up I might pull up this. Yeah, you see? So I got control of the pop-ups. Sometimes it's just a little bit too much for our producer to manage the angles and pull up the pop-ups. So if I know something coming up, I can kind of serve as backup.
Got it.
Now you also got the sounds, which sometimes you know you the host, so you'll know when the sound is coming up is gonna be appropriate. So that's the one. Listen, that's the one we play when somebody talking too much. That's the Usher run.
Okay, play it again.
Hey, this might look.
It's
This,
like you saying too much.
This the crowd favorite though. When the ladies really liking the brother that we pulling up, we play this one right here.
That's Mufasa.
And
So see, that's the thing. The sounds actually keep the show culturally relevant, right? It adds. We know moments in your show. There are moments that you know that are pivotal that might regularly happen. You just have sounds that we have, especially if you have a fun, lighthearted live show like we, that we're building. You want to just make sure you incorporate those to add to the culture of the show.
Got it. Do y'all have the same sounds, or you got like your personal favorites, anything like that?
It's mostly
Same sounds.
Same sounds, but there are some that Tyshawn prefers to use that I don't have, and it's a couple of them that I prefer to use that he doesn't have.
Got it. And you got the bigger stream deck, but y'all you don't really need the bigger one, do you?
Nah, you don't need a big one.
You don't need
Got
it.
it. Okay.
It all gets, because shout out to the Stream Deck, you literally can change pages.
Right.
So you really have so many pages, you could put as many of these things as you want on there.
Got it. Okay, cameras. Let's look at this camera setup. What cameras are we using? Are they all the same cameras?
Yes, for the purposes of this show, we got all the same cameras.
Yep.
Now, we using the Sony a6400, which is pretty much the Toyota Camry of cameras. So it really is. I mean, it's gonna be long lasting. It's gonna be durable. I mean, how many shows have we ran? I mean, these things might be on for 6 hours, 4 times a week. Literally just might be on for that long, not included running and streaming, right? Yeah. So a camera like this is gonna last you almost forever. And when you think about the relative pricing, in regards to the quality of it, it's probably one of the better cameras you can get. So, and one of the good things people really don't know, used equipment is okay. Refurbished equipment is okay.
See that
You know,
I don't know what it is,
you a
bro.
big baller though, Dave. I mean,
I'm not a big baller, but I just be wondering, like, I don't know, electronics. I don't be trusting what people did before me, man.
Lord, let me tell you this. When you think about all the electronics, because as a creator, you're going to literally create an inventory of electronics you never use.
That's a fact.
So if you're reselling a A6400, 9 times out of 10, you never even use it. We have equipment now that we bought thinking we were going to use it, or that we spent too much money, that it's like, because once you buy it, it's over. They're not taking it back, you know. So that's the thing.
And it's not like y'all running and gunning with this. It sits here.
It sits here.
Forever.
Yes. Doesn't move. And so for the price and the quality, it's amazing.
I think the biggest thing too is you just got to make sure you get it from the right vendor.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, don't buy it off the street, which your boys selling DVDs and cameras. But B&H, Adorama, they got really great used equipment that if anything goes wrong, you can even send it back.
So you get it from a certified place.
Exactly. Gotta be from a certified vendor. A camera base, just the body only for use, will probably run you about $600 to $800. And
so this camera this cost y'all $600 to $800 around it? How much?
Yeah, I want to say specifically this one actually costs about $650.
$650.
Actually,
Okay.
All of our A6400s were used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about this lens. It's a Sony FE 1.4/35 GM.
The reason you can purchase a cheaper camera but still quality camera like Sony 6400 is because the key to the shot is in the lens.
Got it.
Now with the lenses, you don't want to go cheap with the lenses because that's what's going to give you flexibility from moving from camera to camera, and it's going to get you that clarity when you talk about putting on the best production.
Yeah.
So Sony specifically, we prefer Sony in general.
Yeah.
Now, can you get other quality Canons, Blackmagics? Absolutely. But the reason we prefer Sony, because if something were to happen to a Sony, you have plenty of camera manufacturers and repairs that's going to be available.
Yep.
If something happened to what we used to use a Blackmagic, we would have to send it overseas and hope that they can fix it.
Right.
Versus something in a Sony, everybody's going to be able to fix it.
Got it.
So yeah,
all the same cameras.
All the same cameras.
All the same lenses.
I would say what?
I think that wide shot is different.
Yeah, 3 of the same lenses because we want to get the same close-up shot. and the wide angle is a bit different, but that's also Sony as well.
This is this is the same lens as that one.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the same one.
And this is the wide angle right here.
Now this one here is not a Sony
Oh, so
lens.
who's this for? This is for
The guest shot.
guests. Got
Yes.
it. Okay, so 2 cameras, same space. This is for the guest that's gonna sit there, and this is for the wide shot.
Wide
with
shot,
audio.
absolutely.
Okay,
And this is the other camera here. This is also this Ryan shot.
got it.
And
So,
the lenses are not difficult to get, kind of, because there's so many options for lenses. But when you understand the basics of the lens and you could make really good purchase decisions, it's really just going to be about like how much of the frame is going to catch. So if you get a close up, a lens that's specific for close up, then the quality of it is going to be higher on that close up. If you get a lens that has the capability of zooming in and zooming out, it's going to have the utility so you can use it for multiple things, but it's not going to have the same quality. So it's really about what you want to do. Because we know the 3 lenses are only going to be used for close up, that's why we went for quality versus functionality. But if you want to have a lens that can do multiple things, then you're going to lose just a little bit of the quality, but you'll be able to use it for wide shots and then turn around and use it for close up.
And I'm gonna be honest, to the naked eye, you won't really be able to tell.
Correct.
If you really could, I would actually recommend you get a lens that you could zoom in and zoom out, because especially as a young creator, you really don't really know what your set will be now and 6 months from now. So you want to have flexibility. And if you get a lens for how your set is now and you change your idea, all of a sudden now it doesn't fit.
Yeah. So for the audience, these lenses you can't zoom in and out,
Correct.
but
Well, you can zoom in and out, but you can't make a wider shot.
right.
So you
Yes,
could
right,
zoom.
right,
So
right,
you
right.
could we zoom in and out using the camera. So there's a cool
the
way
camera.
you could crop
Yes.
in the shot, so it seems like you're zooming,
Yeah.
but the lens isn't zooming. The
Right,
camera's
but just
actually.
like
Correct.
you can't turn it and zoom the lens.
Yes.
Correct.
But there are lenses that you can zoom in and out until you get your feel. That's
Yeah.
why I always tell people, man, please don't spend a whole bunch of money on equipment. You're not going to know how to use it.
Equipment
Yeah,
is
facts.
by far get the lowest return on the performance of your channel. The lowest return equipment.
That's interesting.
Because
Tell me more.
the audience is not typically going to ask for a bunch of angles, a bunch of crisp, clear. They want to be able to, for the most important thing is hearing it good. Is hearing it good, and also the quality of the actual content. We've seen, tons of channels, including ours. I mean, when you look at our most popular videos, it's literally a brick background, all right? A little bit shady camera angling, some of it a little bit blurry, but it's the contents of the content.
The content's hitting.
The content's hitting. And if the content is hitting, you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Last thing before we get into the real juicy stuff. Lighting. So I was a bit confused because you guys are sitting here and you have one light here on you, Ryan, one light here on you, Ty, and one light in the middle. I was thinking, why wouldn't this light hit Ryan, this light hit you?
So it's weird because we tried a few different ways to run it, and this bulb here is a little bit lower than we would like, because that's one of the bad things that came with the ceiling being low. We built a rig, it's a custom rig right here, and this actually, when you try to aim it over there, this bulb actually kind of gets in the way, so it kind of throws off how the light actually fully hits Ryan over here in this shot. If I angle it up to try to shoot down this way. So that's, the lighting is weird as far as like the way your studio might be set up. You got to find the best way to do it.
Right.
Because we used to have C-stands, but we had to get rid of C-stands because it's a tight space. So we was like literally walking around the studio
Falling over
like
sometimes.
this. So we decided to rig those up, but we then ran into other issues with limitations with how we can actually kind of move the lighting itself.
Got it.
So this was just the best way we
Yeah.
found it. And again, like I said, Dave, we put up over, it's videos right now with over 1 million views with this current lighting. So here's the thing. I know that we could have better lighting in here.
Oh, everybody
For sure.
Everybody can have better lighting.
Yeah.
Lighting by far is the most difficult thing when it comes to the technical production, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's so many different factors to it.
And you probably noticed I've talked to many lighting experts, and when you ask them a question, they do the same thing that you would do. Let me see if it right here. Let me move the light right here. Let me, and it's like I could do that, move it everywhere to see what finally works. But that's how difficult
It's
it is.
a Rubik's Cube.
It's a Rubik's Cube, correct. And even when you get it to a sufficient place, it's still always gonna be levels above that you can get the lighting.
It is,
So,
but
yeah.
we found that this lighting is at a point where we could put up an incredible amount of viewership, and until we get complaints about the lighting, we will then make it a priority.
Right.
Okay, so essentially, y'all don't have it all figured out.
Not at all. That's never gonna be a point.
No, look at this wall. Like, so the lighting is so bad. Well, first off, this actually here is a little plugged out. I'm gonna plug this back in so y'all can see it. But essentially, the lighting on this wall is so bad. The shadows are so horrible.
Right.
Because technically these lights are supposed to be in the ceiling to hit so we can get rid of all of these shadows, because shelving actually is really bad because it creates like shadows in between. But at the end of the day, it's like, do we take a couple business days out and throw a couple grand in to get this here done? Or do I spend time recruiting the best people, putting together the best conversations, building the community that's gonna actually put some revenue in our bank? Like, where do we spend time and energy? That's always the biggest problem you're gonna have as a content creator. Me and Ryan have made some huge mistakes. We still make them spending time in the wrong parts of your business. And us spending time on this would be the wrong time.
I get it.
On the business.
Even when it comes to design, because there's a lot of design mistakes. When you design a studio or a filming space, it's not like designing a room. So even this, we actually made some mistakes in how we designed it, because shelving is awful when it comes to lighting, because shelving creates shadows. So the more shelving and crevices that we have in the design of the filming space, the more lighting issues we have. So even when you're designing, like if I was to go back and redesign this, I would make this shelf a bit more flat to the wall, so it's less shadows. I would make this wall right here entirely flat as to not create more angles, and then have the shelving be more so faux shelving, so everything is close to the wall to get the best lighting. So you do have to think about the design, and I would say the biggest thing about the design, you don't design the room, you design the angles. So if I know my camera is going to be facing this, then I want everything within that square to be a design. See, this is here because it catches on the wide angle. The close-up angle catches the fireplace and the hardly initiated. Now, I've walked into studios, including ours, where everything doesn't have to, because when you create a room, everything is centered. If the angle only covers this, then it doesn't matter if I don't have anything here, because it's for the experience of the viewer, not for the experience of the person actually filming the content.
Got it.
So you design based on the angle, not based on the room space.
That's actually the wide shot right there.
That's the wide?
That's the wide shot, what it looks like, and then we can go.
Do you catch the bulb right here? Do you catch this?
No.
So we can, it's a tiny bit of it that's called.
Catch the hardly initiated then.
He has to bring it. He
gotta
in
zoom
closer.
No, actually, the reality of it is a bit of that bulb is in that shot. It's a tiny bit
So
of
it's
it.
a little ratchet.
Yeah, it's a little ratchet right there. It kind of looks like the Holy Spirit is kind of coming into the room a little bit. It's like, really, you see like a little glow right there. But can we also get this, the guest shot? See the guest shot. I just want you to kind of see what that looks like.
Where's the chair? Can I get a chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, thank you. Where's the third chair?
Oh, you really want to set it out?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're gonna sit down and talk
let's do
about.
that.
We're gonna talk about money and stuff.
Wait, who moved
You know what I
the
mean?
third chair?
We put all the third. Okay, we'll get that popping.
Okay, so this is.
That's the wide.
Okay,
And
that's dope. Is that a real? What'd you just press?
this is put guest shot on, Lano. Appreciate it. Boom. That's Ryan's shot right there.
Okay. So, okay. All right. I see. Is that a real fireplace?
Nope.
No, digital fireplace.
It's a digital fireplace.
Yeah.
You would never burn your hand on that, Dave.
There's no heat coming out.
No heat.
No heat.
No heat. It's all for flex.
heat.
That's all.
Yeah.
All flex. All flex.
Gives it a little cozy feel.
That's hard.
But you see that in this shot, and Lano, I want to zoom it in a little more. We usually catch right at the top of that Harley Initiated. That Harley, we kept having people take our content without us getting credit for it. So not only is that Harley Initiated going to be in there, that HI.
Right. Go back
That
to the
HI is
top.
going to be in there as well.
Go to the top of.
So that HI is going to be in there, and you're going to have that Harley Initiated behind you. So you're not going to be able to steal our content without us getting
I
credit.
see. Okay, so we got the fireplace here. HI. Let's go back to it, Ty. Go back to it, because I want to talk through it. So we got the Harley Initiated here.
Yep.
We got the faux fireplace.
Now-
We got the
And
Harley
then go
Initiated
wide,
here.
and then go wide.
Go
When
wide.
we go wide, you get to see that big, fat HI
And check
at
yeah.
the very top.
Now the light
there.
is hanging a bit. So, but the thing is, we gotta fix that.
Yeah.
But nobody is complaining about that.
Nobody
That's
even
not what they're
noticed the
asking
light.
for. They asking for transformation from us. They asking for transformational content.
This is so valuable, bro, because there's so many people that be like, I can't shoot it. Look at the light. It's in the shot. I can't shoot. It's gotta be perfect. And it's just so incredible to see someone who has millions of views with all the imperfections. Y'all just get busy and y'all focus on the transformational
That's
content.
it.
That's it.
That's it. That's the product.
All right. Okay, let's get into this.
But honestly, bro, I just learned something from.
Just put it up on YouTube.
It's like it's crazy, bro.
Yeah. You do that?
Even from you that I just learned, it's just like it's all sinking in because you're like, hey, you got these two communities that you building, but it's all from the same. It's from social proof. You got two different communities you building from social proof.
For sure.
Why the hell did we start a new YouTube channel?
I don't know.
It's like just stupid. But we did it. We did it. This is the second time we did that.
Okay, we're about to get into that because your show has evolved. But back to this angle, so we can see on the screen, Ty. We can't see your eyes,
You can't see my eyes.
so you can't wear a hat.
I literally cannot wear a hat.
Right. Can't style.
So here's the funny thing. We just had one of
So
the
you
biggest
can't shoot if you don't
interviews.
have a haircut. It's over with.
No facts. We literally, I'm wearing this hat because I don't. We literally just had one of the biggest interviews with Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell, and you can't see his eyes
Can't see his eyes.
the entire interview. But it's kind of weird. It kind of added to like the intensity.
the lure, yeah.
That's in a weird way.
fact.
But that's not ideal though. That's not. We can't say we intentionally did that. That's just bad lighting. But guess what? It's second day this video has been up. It's over 100,000 views.
Yep.
So doesn't matter.
Yep.
The content's hitting.
Yeah, I love it.
The content's
I love
hitting.
it.
Yep.
This is good. All right, so I've noticed you all have. I was on your podcast,
Yep.
and I don't know if I'm your ideal audience or your ideal guest. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm married, but it seems like your channel has taken some evolutions. First off, why'd y'all have me on?
Oh, that's a great question, Dave.
Back then, I'm trying to think. A big aspect of it was the fact that you are married, and the fact you are a mature man that has, a lot of a lot of wisdom and things to share about your relationship. The second thing was your brand and popularity. That's always important when you can find people to speak to that people are actually interested in learning about their life. And I mean, really, those were the two biggest things.
And I'm gonna add this in there too. We were also in a place where, because we were just doing pre-recorded interviews only, where we got more focused with booking interviews with people and keeping the episodes flowing versus perfecting who was actually on the podcast, right?
Right.
So where I think as a creator, especially if you have an interview platform, you can get really lost in the sauce in trying to just shoot content and not really find the, to your point, ideal person on the show. And that's an issue in your pre-production and your casting. And if you have an interview platform, who you do an interview with probably has 80% to do with the success of that episode. It's so vitally important. And I think the episode we had, it performed like relative to our channel, it wasn't a high performing, episode at all. Obviously we got to have a good chat with David Shands, which was kind of cool.
Right.
But ideally, we would only have the right avatar every single time, but that's intentionality in your casting and sourcing the right people, and they don't always have to be the biggest people, but they gotta be people who have strong perspectives in your genre that you deliver to your audience and your people.
Correct. And not just the right person, because it's times where we've had the wrong person but had the right conversation and the show didn't perform. It's time we had the right person and the wrong conversation where the show didn't perform. So you have to have a mix between those two.
Or a moderate performance. You kind of hurt what it could have been.
Exactly. Which is why you will see, and we experience this all the time. We may have, for example, we just had Pastor Philip Mitchell on our platform, but he's been on, let's say, 5 or 6 different platforms over the past 6 months. We're going to go back and see how did we do relative to other people's platforms and how did they do relative to our platform. And you will see he could be on 6 different shows and get 20,000 views on one and 1 million views on the next one. So it has to be the right combination.
That's good.
You don't always get it right, but you want to try to get it right. That's the best performing YouTubes get it right, I would say 7 to 8 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So it's been times when we've gotten it right 10 out of 10. And there's been times when we've gotten it wrong or we've gotten it right 2 out of 10. Yeah. And that's going to be the performance that you had over the a month or so.
And I've seen the evolution. It seemed like initially it was a relationship. Yeah. And then it seemed like your show took a turn to more of a gospel, Christian, transformational vibe.
Right.
Am I off on that?
No. You 100% correct. 100%. But the issue that we've had was it wasn't intentional. Now, when I say it's not intentional, I don't mean it's not intentional for us to grow and develop. And we are Christian, right? But in terms of having control of the narrative and making sure you're delivering on the mission instead of just going after views. So we found that if you want, because as you build your audience, you're going to have a variety of different sub audiences. Now, we have an audience that they only want to hear about relationship content. We also found that we had an audience that only wants to hear about faith content. And then you have an audience that's going to indulge in both. But if we're serving our audience only faith content for, let's say, 10 consecutive episodes, then all of a sudden it's going to be, oh, this is a Christian platform. Anything else is the wrong thing. Yeah. So even if you want to serve different audiences, you have to make sure that the cadence and the amount of content that you put out can serve both audiences. So if you only got 10 episodes and only one audience is getting served, then that audience is going to say, this is our platform. We don't want to hear nothing else. So if you do want to serve multiple audiences, you got to even put out a certain amount of content and have to structure it the best way. Otherwise, literally the platform can get out of your hands.
Got it. Did y'all ever say, yo, let's go into faith-based for a second?
No, we did. So we did want to have, it was intentional for us to bring a faith more frequently into the conversations. Right. Because what we didn't like about some of the relationship content that we were doing was it could just be very tactical, but not transformational. Yeah. And we wanted our content to be transformational. Like when you finish a Harley Initiated episode, you're like, I'm done with this. I'm doing this different. I'm going to start doing this. You're a changed person. And faith and transformation goes hand in hand. And on top of that, we was also getting deeper in our faith. So it was just kind of the place we were in life.
So the show evolved with you all's evolution.
The show absolutely evolved with our evolution. But to Ryan's point, I think what we could have done better is you have to know your pillars that you serve. So relationships and faith became a pillar, right? So when you have 2 main pillars that you have, the sweet spot, if you can imagine a Venn diagram, is going to be right where they overlap. If you can hit faith and relationships right in between, that's going to be your sweet spot. So this past episode did so well because we talked about the issues that, are finding strong men in the church, the issues that holy women are having finding other godly men, like all of those places that fit that sweet spot. Now, if you just abandon relationships and only talk faith, you really kind of go off into a deep end that's not necessarily the brand anymore,
Right.
and it turns into something else a little bit. Just like if you go only relationships, now we talking about, what's the best pickup line, so on and so forth, and I'm losing my faith transformation aspect. So we really trying to swing at that sweet spot every single time we do an episode, the best of our ability to be able to predict how well this episode would do.
And you have to earn it. You have to earn the pillars because we earn our bones in the relationship content. And we found that a faith undertone and even having faith talk was also an interest. So then we had to earn our credibility in having those types of conversations. So right now we have two pillars of audiences. Some people like both. Some people like them separate, but you have to be able to serve both audiences. Now, if you want to grow, you got to be able to serve I would say an additional audience. So I think the goal is to get to 3 pillars, right? So when you think about some of the biggest shows like Vlad TV, he does hip hop, entertainment, and crime. He's got 6 million subs. All of those people are getting well fed, right? Now, some people watch all 3, some people watch 2, some people watch 1. But for us, the next pillar that we want to really earn is culture. So once we start addressing the relationship and the faith issues and just cultural issues, it's going to take time to develop that and earn trust in that area. So we're not going to overwhelm the audience with a bunch of cultural conversations. We're going to continue to stick to the 80%, the faith and relationships, and we're going to bring in this new audience over time to now we can address and hold content for all of the audiences.
This is so good, bro. This is so good. Okay, I got to talk about growth in finances. So monetization on YouTube. Dang, there's so many questions I want to ask, bro, because y'all launched another channel,
Yep.
which was like a dating show.
Yep.
Where'd that come from?
So first off, this is the second other channel. So we had Harley Initiated. Then about a year and a half in on Harley Initiated, we launched solely podcast education channel. We stopped that channel. That channel was growing. I think we stopped it at 5,000 subs, which we reached in like 2 months. Now we just started this other channel, Harley in Love, and we've reached 5,000 subs, monetizing 1 episode. Reached 5,000 subs and 1,200 people per episode in 2 months. So this is a growing channel.
1,200 people live, about 10,000 views an episode, and it's a baby channel.
Wow.
So it's a very, very healthy channel.
So what's the idea behind starting a new channel? Why not just put it on the same Harley Initiated channel? Because it's the same audience, essentially.
Well,
Yes.
so let me tell you why. I think it's a few things. A, the Harley Initiated, the Harley in Love is dating activations. So the way you serve the product is not transformation, it's entertainment.
Yep.
So it actually is deserving of a second channel if we were to launch it, because the product is different that we're giving the person.
Yeah.
Right.
B, I think because when you go back to the original conversation of those pillars, I think because we abandoned that relationship pillar so much as a platform.
To go into the spiritual.
Correct.
Because we went so deep into faith, we say, you know what? People started reaching us out, say, hey, do some dating content, do this, that. We say, you know what? Because we want to serve you.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're going to start a whole nother channel just focused on this thing instead of figuring out how we can kind of get better in that sweet spot. So to be honest, I do think it was just us making a bad business decision. I only say bad business decision mainly because our priorities as a platform, we're not done with where we want to take Harley Initiated. Because if the capacity for Harley Initiated was where we wanted it, I think building another channel is fine. But we're not done with Harley Initiated, so it's bad in that us moving to another channel hurts our capacity to hit and complete the goals we have for Harley Initiated. We still got communities, events, offers that we still have not built out for HI, and that new channel was hurting us. So that's why I say it was a bad business decision. The platform, if we continue to grow it, would have grown tremendously, mainly because me and Ryan realized we have a gift in creating.
Right.
The problem is sometimes when you're gifted, you try to use your gift and
Use all your
machine gun
gifts.
spray your gift.
Yeah.
But you have to really aim that gift and be disciplined in your gift.
Yeah.
And I think that was just an undisciplined move. For even though it was a great channel with great content,
With great
and literally
community.
tonight we're going to announce to the community that we're no longer going to grow this platform, which they're going to be very.
It's hurtful.
It's gonna hurt them when we say that because they loved that.
And it's hurting you too. You're like,
It's-
"Dang, I don't wanna. I love it. It was
We had a whole morning
a
session.
whole morning session. Like,
had a
you know,
morning.
we was in the meeting a couple days ago. Ty was like, bro, I think you need to walk. And I'm like, I was pissed. I was upset that we, again, as business people, started something, making rash decisions, and now have to stop, right? So all the time we wasted, right? And then I'm upset for my community because we have told them that we were going to do something, and now I have to go back and tell them we're not doing it. So it hurts the brand trust. You know, it's like, okay, what else you gonna start and stop? You know, what is it? Now people are wondering what's going on with Ryan and Tyshawn. Are they still cool?
They think we beefing.
They think, right. What's happening with HR? What are they doing with that? So when you make these mistakes,
Hold on. Why would they think that? Because y'all were both doing both shows.
Well, because we also just announced on Hardly Initiated, this is another thing that we can get into, that we're also going to stop doing live shows on Hardly Initiated. So
they're like, what's going on?
When you bring so many updates and changes to people at one time, it kind of it rattles the fish tank a little bit. Wow. Right? And the thing about it is we already know removing live shows from Hardly Initiated is going to blow up the channel. Not just because we're going to be able to batch produce content and give people so much more content at a higher level, but also clips and everything else that we didn't have the capacity to produce. But again, from the consumer standpoint, when you have been trained and conditioned to be with these people on Monday and Wednesday night, that changes. And now something else is changing. By the way, the Hardly in Love was Tuesday and Thursday night. We had people with us 4 nights a week.
Yep.
I just completely changed your entire night routine. You like, what is going on?
Yep.
Right? So it's not that, again, in the next 90 days, they're going to look up and be like, I get it.
Yeah.
But right now in this season, it just looks like bad business.
It looks like bad everything.
Right. So the initial channel, what is the most, and y'all don't have to share if you want to, but it's my job to ask. What is the most you've ever made specifically just from YouTube? Monetization for those young creators out there in a month. How much has YouTube paid you?
I would say it was like 70, 75,000.
It was like 75, yeah. Right at about 75,000.
Yeah.
75,000?
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
What happened? What happened that month?
So, one, I would say the content was exactly what the audience wanted. It was very clear about the type of content we putting out. Secondly, we took full advantage of how YouTube is structuring the algorithm, and they are asking for content. So one of the things that YouTube is doing is that they're pushing out the video content. They're prioritizing the video content, right? And one of the things that's happening with consumers now is that they want brief and brilliant pieces of content. So can you put out an hour episode and perform? Absolutely. But if you can put out an hour episode and that perform and combine that with 3 to 4, 8 to 12 minute clips that gives the person exactly what they need with specificity, then you're going to pretty much be able to double your income. So going from, let's say, making 30 to 40,000 a month, only putting out 4 episodes, to now putting out those bite-sized pieces in tandem, we literally doubled our income.
So essentially, you got to understand this too. It's some people, our lives are from 2 to 3 hours. It's literally, we have 460,000 subs today. There's a portion, maybe, who knows, half, a quarter. There's a group of people that looks at that live. As soon as they see 2.5 hours, they just literally scroll. Hell no. I'm not watching no 2.5 hour video. So you cutting up your content and creating bite-sized clips literally serves all of your subscribers and how people watch content. So I literally even had one of my close uncles hit me up and was like, yo, Todd, thank you so much. He's a businessman. I actually used to work for him. One of my mentors, family friends, called me and said, Todd, thank you so much for putting these 8 to 10 clips out, because y'all stopped posting the shorts. And all y'all was doing was lives, and I seen the lives was doing good, but I wasn't watching that.
Wow.
But now he said, I feel like I know what's going on the platform, and the show is great.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what it was. He wasn't watching those full episodes.
You got to think about, you want to have people, the purpose is to have people click on the content and be engaged. So if you're putting out, let's say, an hour or even a 3-hour episode like we were, if you don't like the person or not familiar, and you don't like the topic, then you're just not going to watch it.
Yeah.
But if you break it down into clips, you can still not like the person, but that specific topic, I want to talk about, I want to listen to. So now you give them more opportunity to find things that they might like and engage in with the content.
Got you. And I know YouTube moves up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
You might have a great month and a struggling month. In the last 12 months, what was the lowest YouTube page view?
Well, we took a month off in last July. And I want to say we made, 15,000?
Yeah, we made 15,000.
I ain't take a month off.
We took a month off. We didn't put out any content.
That's fire.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Sheesh.
And you know what? To be real, I think that was good for where we was in our mindset. But now I understand that you can make a lot more money and take off. Like if you plan out the content and you have additional offers.
That's why we're going no more lives, so
Yes.
you can like batch, get it all in.
Yes.
And your lives aren't controlled by the audience.
Exactly.
Yes.
You have to be. It's certain things that you just only learn from speaking to other people that's done it. So now we know that why somebody would start a new channel. So for example, if you want to start a new channel, the reason you would start a new channel is not just for another pillar of content, it's for another world, another universe. For example, starting Hardly in Love, we're able to build not only dating, but we're able to build this different universe of activations from this specific channel. It's only going into love, the depths of love. And it's what drives the channel. That channel is driven by community and activations. So that has to live on its own. Now with Hardly Initiated though, it's driven by discussions and experts. So if we're going to have content that's not expert driven or not discussion driven, it can't go on Hardly Initiated. So you have to form another piece of content.
Got it.
Now going back to what we were originally talking about in terms of like the offers or like creating this world, Hardly Initiated, when you think about the purpose of live content and the purpose of pre-recorded content, the purpose of live content is one, to be relevant. Okay, transformation doesn't have to be relevant. So we don't need live for that. Two, to keep up with the culture. Well, culture right now, like I stated, is not a big part of what we talk about in terms of addressing everything that's going on in the culture. So live wouldn't necessarily fit. And when you think about the biggest live shows, you got to think about what you can actually put on. If Ty and I and Delano are responsible for recruiting and being the talent and putting together the business, well, running a deadline business of 2 live shows a week, we wouldn't be able to do this with you. Dave, let me tell you something. You've invited us and stuff that stressed me the hell out. Because I'm like, I can't deal with Dave. I can't talk to Dave because if I spend time with Dave, even though it's going to benefit me, right? And it's going to build our relationship, I can't put on a live show. I don't know if I'm going to have a live show today if I meet with Dave. You know what I mean? And if I don't have a live show, I don't make money. I got to pay my bills. So now we realize that the live show is not the best engine to build transformational content. So we coming back. So they're not asking us for more live shows. They're not asking us for a pop and chat. They're asking us, hey, help me change my life. If I had time to think about what you need versus my need of needing to put out content, then I can better serve you. And if I had time to really develop the conversation and go in depth, then I can figure out how to better serve you.
And we was actually hurting them.
Right.
Because as soon as we want to take a vacation, as soon as one of us gets sick or our schedules get thrown off, we can't put the content out. And now we can't serve them because we're not able to show up in person for a live show. And they're asking us for transformation. They're not asking us to be there in person. Most people are watching on the replay. If a video gets 100,000 views and 2,000 people was there live and it was a 2-hour show, that means 4,000 people watched it live. 98,000, 96,000 people watched it when it wasn't live.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter
sense.
if it's not live. If it's not live, they don't care.
Yeah.
They just want you to serve them this content that's going to change their lives.
Got it.
Not for transformational content. If it's a different type of content, live may be a better engine. But
Right.
when you in a deadline business and it's just you end up putting out, you get views depending on what you do, but you don't think about the content as much. So you might put out something where people look, like we put out a couple videos, people like, I'm worried about y'all. What is this? This is not spiritual. This is not helping me. This is not improving my relationship. And it's like, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, why did we do that? Well, we did that because we were scrambling like chickens with our head cut off, trying to figure out how we could just put out a show on Wednesday.
I got it. So I think this is your first outside of YouTube income, correct? Harley
Yeah.
Initiated cards?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the cards.
The cards, man, it was...
How'd they come about? Like, what made y'all come up with cards?
Honestly, creating, you got to look at other people who have similar content and see what they're putting out.
Yeah.
You know? And we saw some of the more popular relationship shows. For example, Ace Metaphor and Tonight's Conversations. He was selling these cards like, I mean, hotcakes. Like, it was really, and the reviews, went to look at his website, the reviews were phenomenal on the
Bro,
card.
I remember this had to be, I don't know when it was years ago. It had to be maybe 2017, maybe 2018. I started talking to Derek Jackson, and he was selling so many of these cards.
Yep.
It was ridiculous. I went to his warehouse one time, and he was selling about a truckload.
Yep.
And he was like telling me the amount of, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to come up with a card. I never came up with a card, but I understand that people love card games.
They love card games, especially our audience is a huge part of our audience is women. Women, they love collectible items.
Yeah.
They love to have games ready for every single occasion. And they need help being creative when it comes to dating.
True.
So we said, well, look, let's put our minds together. Let's serve the community with a supplemental tool that can help them in their dating lives, help them in their relationship building lives, because you can play with all women, men and women, family vacation, date night, you know, whatever, any situation. So we came out with the cards, and man, it was, when we came out with it, we're like, why didn't we do this months ago?
Yeah, it's a great product, man. You can price it somewhere that's relatively competitive. And by the way, actually, I take that back. You don't have to be competitive. And that's something you want to do. And when I say competitive, I mean, don't look at Amazon to determine what your prices are. Yeah. You can price them in a place that's actually more luxury, is what I should have said. Luxury meaning above what the competition does. Because when you're people that rock with you buying a product, they're not going to check Amazon first
To see if another game
what
is
the
$2
cards are.
cheaper. Yeah.
They rock with you. And a lot of it is supporting you. So
And getting access, because this right here, this you rock with us.
Yeah.
We together. We in the club together. This is not your average card game. It's like you going around with this. It's like we in relationship together.
Yeah.
Like
so it's a really good product, especially a really good starter product because it's not a ton of out of pocket costs.
How much does it cost you to produce these?
Per deck, I want to say if I'm going off the top of my head, all costs from shipping. By the way, we got it from manufacturer in China.
Yep.
So having them manufacture it, having them ship it, and the cost that you'll spend shipping here in the States, you'll probably spend, what'd you say, about $8 a deck?
Well, see, the thing is, yes and no. So just the deck is about $150.
$1.50.
$1.50. With even shipping it over here, it comes out to like $1.50.
Okay.
But the reason
Where
it
you
goes
get $8
to,
from,
well,
bro?
I'll tell you, the reason it said $8 is because we include free shipping. So you get the product, it's free shipping. So shipping costs us between $5 and $7 per product.
I see.
Yeah.
So this card deck costs you about $1.50 to get over here, landed in the States.
Yes.
Before the tariffs, of course.
Before the tariffs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, listen,
They
that's
talking to us about that.
got to be real.
Yeah, they are.
That's a real thing. I was just talking to somebody who does, they produce shows, and he was getting screens sent over there. He does like the big productions.
Yeah.
He was like, bruh, we had a price negotiated, cool. He's like, yo, the day it hit, they sent him an email like, yo, it's an extra 23,000.
Yep, I believe it.
Crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, y'all gotta figure that out. Hopefully y'all got.
do.
Oh, no,
hopefully
we
y'all got
figured it
enough.
out. Yeah, we good, we good.
Enough
We good right
inventory. You're right.
So $1.50 packed, all that.
Yep. Now
And
you
then
got
you include free shipping.
we include free shipping.
How much do you charge for the cards?
$39.99.
But we,
$39.
yeah, $39.99, and you want to price it somewhere where if you offer discounts, you still hit your margin where you want to be at.
That makes sense. But that free shipping is attractive. That free shipping is attractive.
It's a standard now with
Yeah.
buying something online now.
Right,
Free
but
shipping is-
you've baked in enough profit to where it's not a loss.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the profit is about, I mean, shoot, we still profit $32 on each card. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
That's good. And people love the game.
They love it.
Okay.
They love it.
Typically, we launch something like this on the show. Does it keep the momentum, or like your audience buys, you got to offer something else? How does that, how have y'all experienced that?
I mean, I wish it did keep the momentum, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
Because
anything you launch like that.
it really doesn't. And that's just like you said, it's anything. So once you drop the product, it's going to be purchased by new people exposed to the product. So the larger the shows grow, the more new people you get into the community, the more people are going to buy. But YouTube can be up and down sometimes, it kind of depending on how you putting out your content. So at some point the sales will drop because the people who want to purchase would have already purchased.
Yes.
So I would say now we're seeing about, would you say anywhere from, depending on the product, the product sales would be at the height for about 4 to 6 months. Would you say that?
Yep, 4 to 6 months. And
if-
keep in mind, you're talking to guys who are singular on their channels. So we only market these cars on YouTube,
Right.
and you can say email. We don't do Instagram. We don't do TikTok. We don't do Facebook, meaning putting out offers to tell people to buy the cars.
Why not?
Because I think that
Or
might,
is it-
only because the capacity to create the content, create
Got
offers.
it. So it's not the reason is I just don't have the capacity.
Yeah,
Which,
that's all it
Which-
is. On the way.
without the lives, we got more time. I see what's
Exactly.
going on. I
Because
see
if
what's
you
going
throw
on.
ads behind that,
Yeah.
it's going to continue because ads are going to continue to bring in you
Yep.
new traffic. So there are ways to extend the life of the product. But currently, if you solely got one channel, is you on YouTube, it's going to last. A good one is going to go, let's say, 8 to 10 months, but probably around 4 to 6 months, depending on what the product is. So that means you'll have to have another product, the right product, in 6 months to drop that one.
Got you. And I see y'all designed a journal.
That's the new product.
Oh
Journals.
man, this is my favorite.
Fire too,
This is my
bro.
favorite right here.
Yo, it feels so good, bro.
Yeah,
This
That's velvet. That's velvet.
The velvet rope right here. This is crazy.
You got the scratch resistant font on here. You know what I mean?
scratch resistant. Come
I mean,
on.
Yeah,
the
you got
paper,
the-
you got to feel the thickness of the
Gold
paper.
pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is nice.
You got
bro.
2 cotton ribbons to serve as bookmarks.
And see, what we do is we studied like the greats, right? Like we use the 5-minute journal, right? That's a very popular journal. There's a ton of productivity planners that we've used personally. There's the free writing journals that we also used if you actually just want to kind of go in there. So we kind of created this combination of both. This helps you identify where you are. There's a commitment and emotional aspect to it. There's a morning routine creation aspect to it. And then there's a daily prompt aspect. The questions are designed really for the morning for you to use in that morning, but we still gave them a free writing opportunity as well on the other side. So if you just want to even use it to take notes, a lot of people when they watch the show, because it's transformative, we breaking down a lot of frameworks, we breaking down a lot of principles that a lot of people showed us them literally journaling during the show. So not only is it great utility for the show, it's just also a transformative tool you can use in your own personal life. So it fits the brand, that we're building.
How much are we charging for this?
50,
that was 50.
$49.99.
This is a $50 journal for
Now,
sure.
this is a bit more expensive because now we
Yes.
did. I think Tyshawn mentioned this briefly. You do have to pay to get like the box and everything designed for the card. Same thing with the journal. You got to pay to get the journal. You find a designer and you pay to get the journal designed.
Right.
This, in general, a journal is a more expensive product. So you're looking at about, I would say, $3.80.
No. It was like, we paid like, to get it shipped here about $16,800 for 3,000 journals. So I think that comes out to just under $6.
Okay, so
journal.
five to six.
Yeah, about $5 to
so-
$6 a journal.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest too, this is a much more difficult product to create.
Yeah.
It's a lot more product research.
Yep.
It's a lot more variations in the page. Every single card is the same. The only thing that changes is the questions.
The question.
So all you
Right.
do is design the box and the
box.
card design. It's 2 designs. There's multiple different page designs.
This is font. This is the individual pages. You got to think about it's a journal. So we got acknowledgement page. This is how you use the journal page. So it's a lot more thought goes into it. You got the types of ribbons that go into it, the types of pages, the color of the pages.
You got to know where the margin starts.
Yeah.
You have to literally design the actual spine of the book. It's so many aspects that go into designing a journal. It took us from idea to actually it being in our warehouse, I think about 6 to 7 months.
So we have these. We're ready to go.
Oh, those are. I mean, those are good.
They're literally in the warehouse right now.
We sold. I want to say about
Probably sold about 100 copies right now, right?
Well, yeah, I would say within we just released them like 2 days.
We just
ago.
launched them on Monday.
Yeah, we already sold 100.
You sold 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, congrats, man. This is dope because we have the podcast that talks about relationships, transformation, cards help with the relationship aspect. You know, we're keeping in mind a single couple or somebody that's just dating or even somebody married. You get some really good questions. Journal transformation. I get to write down what I learned from the episode, how I'm tracking things of that nature. So this is a good package for that audience.
You got merch, and I would say that's how I would look at it. If I'm looking at if I'm a pod or a content creator, I'm looking at products, physical products to put out, is really just merch or tools. So merch is going to be everything that just represents, the brand, and you can rock it, hats, shirts, hoodies, trinkets, and then you have the tools, which is actually things that are going to help you in your journey. So the card's going to help you with the dating. The journal is going to help you in
Just your day-to-day transformation.
Day-to-day transformation. And oh man, I don't have it. All right, you got your Fight the Flesh
I'm not rocking it either right now.
And we
Y'all
actually
ain't fighting the flesh no more?
Well, yeah, no.
He the only one fighting the flesh.
No. We fighting it. I was in a rush this morning, but yeah, we actually have a purity bracelet that we would consider merch. So it's something that you can rock, and it represents the brand. It represents kind of your day-to-day challenges. So different types of products you can try.
Cool. I wanna wrap this up, man. But with wanting to know how this process changed you too personally, like what has these conversations done, starting this podcast, what has it done for you personally? So I want to start. Whoever wants to start, we'll go with you, Ryan.
I would say with me, I mean, just the business of podcasting in general has really opened my mind up to, how much of an impact you can have on other people. It really puts you in a position to where it's funny. I was talking to Ty about this, like our job now is to become better people.
Yeah.
Right. So having that be a career opportunity is like one of the best things that can have happened to me. So the more I invest in myself, the more I'm able to give back. So the profession in general has changed my life. Now, compiling that with the opportunity to actually speak to super dope people, it's like, it really is transformational. Like a lot of people are like, hey, I see y'all developing, I see y'all growing. I'm like, yes, we are. Like in real time. It could have been something that I was holding on to negatively, or something or perception that I had that wasn't healthy, that literally while people are watching, I'm actually changing internally.
You're consuming your own product.
I'm consuming my own product. So it truly is a blessing. And I would say when I really think about the podcasting opportunity, it's just really one of the best things that you can do, because it gives you the flexibility as well to just do many other things.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking about wanting to travel or wanting to, start a larger accountability group for men, if you position it right, you're going to have opportunity to do that. So and I'm able to pay my bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this point, we able to do a little bit more than pay our bills.
Yeah.
And if you keep doing it right, you are really going to put yourself in position not to just change your life completely, but to change the people that you truly care about, change their life as well. So it's super dope.
Yeah.
Ty, talk to me, man. How's this process changed your life, man?
I'm gonna add to Ryan, because it's 3, I would say, major areas that I saw change, from the time we started the podcast. One, we talk about getting money, but the relationship capital that you have in your life is just ultimately so invaluable. I don't think I would have been at the table sitting with you right now if it wasn't through podcasting. And so many of the other people I have access to that I call, even that is beyond business at this point, just on a personal level, to work through things. I just did pre-engagement counseling with my lady. It was free, right? It's just certain things and benefits in life that's just absolutely doors that have opened up, things that we don't even have to, I don't have to worry about access to any industry or anything I want to do. It's just everything's a phone call away at this point in time in life, which is a blessing. Two, man, the ability to speak, you develop that area. The repetition you get in speaking is so incredible. We're talking about relationship capital. I was just having, all of us, we was just having breakfast with Marcus Rogier the other day.
Yep.
And he said it. He said literally, speaking is literally the highest value skill set that you can possess in life. It is speaking.
I agree.
And podcasting, I can't think of anything else that gives you more reps at speaking, whether you interviewing and asking questions, you giving perspective, you're gonna improve the way you talk as a podcaster. And that's benefited in so many different ways. I'm talking about even in my relationship, how I'm talking to my lady, how I'm talking to my family. I've always been pretty good at communicating, but really being able to take that skill set to the next level is incredible. And finally, also to Ryan's point, is when you see the impact that you have on the world and the people, it's dope. That's why I'm very happy we got solid and committed in that transformative space. Because, man, a lot of times we get caught up in our stress, in our ambition, and what we want to build and what we want to do. Because I'm a lover of business. I came into the podcast from real estate, just a lover of business first. But when we got caught up in the space and you start actually running into these people that are binging your content, you're reading the emails from these people, it really gives you perspective and grounds you to what's really going on. And the experience people really having on the other side of the screen. Because you really understand how insignificant that little bulb is hanging from the top of that camera when you see that somebody literally walk up and say, yo, I was literally about to divorce this chick. You saved my marriage. Like, I was literally flooded with suicidal thoughts. But now I got a community of bros around me. I'm good now. Yo, I literally was like flooded with anxiety and depression. And now you got me back in my word. I'm on my routine. I'm on my gym. And I'm feeling way better now. I'm back on track. So all of those things really is solidifying that not only am I in purpose, walking truly in my purpose in life, but just being a light in this world, man. And that feels incredible.
I love it. I love it. He's not having sex with a whole bunch of people, right?
Nah.
No,
Not anymore.
Facts.
This relationship space, when you get there talking good, oh my gosh, Ryan, I got a question. I just wanted to know.
No,
Let me tell you, we had to
right,
get it
though.
together.
Yeah, because you're committed now, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so early stages of y'all getting popping, y'all single, y'all was in the world.
Oh yeah. I mean,
In the world and the
was
girls.
tough. It was tough because it like really is a thing. Like I see. I don't think because especially when guys talk about, hey, you get a little bit more money, you better watch out for them women.
Come on.
You get a little bit more status, better watch out for them women.
Yeah.
Like I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now, and the thing is, it's going to keep getting stronger. The desire, or not the desire, but the temptation is going to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger as you develop yourself. So you really do have to get your mind right. Like it's fortunate that 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, that I wasn't, on this trajectory. Because if I was, I would have turned into a straight animal. So things happen, according to the divine plan. And so now, man, just, it feels good to fight temptation rather than for lust to actually be the goal. It feels good to fight lust now. Because at some point in my life,
your own product. This is incredible. This is absolutely
Fighting the
incredible.
flesh.
Yeah, literally. Because lust, at some point in my life, it was literally the goal.
I bet.
Like that was the celebration.
That was the
That
celebration.
was the celebration.
Golly.
But now, man, it's completely different, and life is more healthy.
And let's
Appreciate
just,
that.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000, right? When you in the space we in, the relationship space, the reality of it is this is a female-dominated industry.
100%.
Like being an R&B singer.
And
I
if we take
think it's a male-dominated industry, a female-dominated
Consumed.
audience.
Yes. And if I'm psychoanalyzing the audience on an honest level, it's a woman that's working on her self-worth. She's working on her self-confidence. She's really a prime target to be taken advantage of from somebody she looks up to, from somebody that has influence and power over her. And you could sit in the position that we have and absolutely abuse it. Like just abuse it to the 10th power.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, not only are there just physical and spiritual ramifications that come with making that decision, but that's truly the destruction, of anything and everything
100%.
that you're even building. So we had to get right quick. That's why that faith component came right after the relationship.
Right on time.
It came right after. We was like, we gotta get this popping up in here right
Yo,
now.
this sounds
because it's
like
important.
you all are shaping the show around your own personal growth. Like, yo,
Facts.
maybe there was y'all had a meeting together. Like, yo, bro, we gotta get right, bro.
Absolutely.
And maybe somebody comes on the show, and after they leave, the feeling and the conversation is still here, like reflective yourself. And I think that's when you know you got something special. When you're producing something that you are consuming, getting high off your own supply.
Yep.
And that's why I believe it's growing, because you guys are growing with the message, and the message is growing with you. So that's incredible, man.
Yep.
Thank
Appreciate
y'all
you,
so
brother.
much. Nah, I appreciate y'all breaking down the game.
Yeah.
I've never had, and I talk podcasting from a like coaching perspective, but I've never had a chance to really dig into somebody's whole podcast. Like, so this is the first time I'm ever doing this.
Oh, no. Okay, good.
Because we've had the round
Yeah.
tables when y'all had that dumb idea of having an app and all that.
Right,
So I'm like, yo, what's up
exactly.
with y'all? Why are y'all doing
Full
this?
of dumb ideas. Yeah. We getting better.
Yeah, but the evolution. So I've made many mistakes. I've made so many mistakes, and I'm making so many mistakes now that we'll all probably look at 2 years later, like, I don't know why I was doing that in 2025, right? But I got one more ask. There's a bunch of young creators, young podcasters out there that are going to need some guidance. So this year we got Podcast Summit 2025 coming up, and y'all absolutely crushed it last year. Can we meet you at Podcast Summit 2025?
Oh,
this
that's
year?
a given.
We there.
That's a given. Everyone from here on out.
Do y'all see yourself going into the podcast education space or coaching space at all, or creators? Because y'all got a wealth of knowledge. Y'all see
Yeah,
yourself doing that?
We actually just, man, it's crazy, Dave, you say that, because we didn't realize how many creators watched Hardly Initiated. A lot of creators watch our show. And we should have known that, because a lot of people do, reaction content to our videos and so on. But because of that and people reaching out to us, we just launched a 16-week YouTube Accelerator program.
No word.
We only taking on 10 people. Like, we just capacity.
Yeah.
We ain't.
We're not trying to
we
go
ain't. Look,
overboard.
yeah.
Right.
Because that would take your focus from the show.
Exactly. So we
Yeah.
ain't going to podcast something with
Yeah.
it, but we're going to pour heavily into 10 creators. So we have permission to go ahead and drop that here in the link in the description for us to do
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
Because the game has changed, man. The thing is, we have so many people that contact us to get on the show. And they'll send us a long message about sharing their testimony, sharing their expertise. And I'm thinking in my mind as I'm looking at this, just send your Instagram link, right?
Yeah.
Just send your YouTube link, because that's all I need to see if you're going to be able to qualify to get on the show. Because before you can come and do, perform on our channel, we got to see you perform on your channel.
Yeah.
But even when people are published authors, they don't understand, because that's excellent, but the game has changed.
Yeah.
You have to have an online presence. You have to be able to showcase content.
Yeah.
Your speaking ability.
And speaking ability. So those people are awesome people. They got phenomenal transformational stories. They got an incredible message to share, but they don't really know the formula to put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people we want to help. We want to help people that are putting messages together, and their aim is to transform people's lives.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. So that's what we can best help with.
Love it.
Facts.
So the program is really for a special 10 people that's really ready to take their messaging and their overall brand to the next level.
Love it, love it. Well, look, man, we will see you all. Yeah, come. If this helps you, man, please put it in the chat. Send a DM to Ty or Ryan and just tell them thank you, man. And if you are looking to get into whether it's the relationship podcast space, business podcast space, creator, if you want to get in the podcast space, you need to be at Podcast Summit 2025. This is the third year. It is the fastest growing podcast event in the world, actually, especially for diverse creators, man. So podcastsummit.com, get your ticket, don't delay. And y'all gonna sit down and do some interviews with some people because we have booths.
Yeah,
we have booths there.
Listen,
And you can actually sit down and with other creators and ask them questions. So
That's
dope.
yeah, let's get to it, man. Listen, podcastsummit.com. I'll see y'all in Atlanta.
Yeah.